Welcome to literary and jury charge practice. Let's start out with some jury charge. Ready? Here we go. Members of the jury, in any jury trial, there are, in effect, two judges. I am one of the judges. You, the jury, are the other judge. It is my duty to preside over the trial and to decide what evidence is proper for your consideration. It is also my duty at the end of the trial to explain to you the rules of law that you must follow and apply in arriving at your verdict. First, I will give you some general instructions which apply in every case. For example, instructions about burden of proof and how to judge the believability of witnesses. Then I will give you some specific rules of law about this particular case. And finally, I will explain to you the procedures you should follow in your deliberations. You, as jurors, are the judge of the facts, but in reaching your decision as to the facts, it is your sworn duty to follow all of the rules of law as I explain them to you. You have no right to disregard or give special attention to any one instruction or to question the wisdom or correctness of any rule I may state to you. You must not substitute or follow your own notion or opinion as to what the law is or ought to be. It is your duty to apply the law as I explain it to you, regardless of the consequences. Right, we'll take a little break from jury charge material and try a little bit of literary. This is called Success. Ready? Here we go. if you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, work day and night for it, give up your time and your peace and your sleep for it, if from the desire of it you hold all the other things tawdry and cheap for it, if life seems all empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and you dream is about it, if gladly you'll sweat for it, fret for it, plan for it, lose all your terror of God or of man for it, with all your capacity, strength, and sagacity, faith, hope, and confidence, if neither cold, poverty, famished, and gaunt, nor sickness, nor pain of body or brain can turn you away from the thing that you want, if dogged and grim you besiege and beset it, you'll get it. A little motivation there. All right, let's get back to our jury charge. Ready? Here we go. It is also your duty to base your verdict solely upon the evidence without prejudice or sympathy. You are to decide this case only on the evidence which has been admitted into court during trial. That was the promise you made and the oath you took before being accepted by the parties as jurors, and they have the right to expect nothing less. The indictment or formal charge against a defendant is not evidence of guilt. Indeed, the defendant is presumed by the law to be innocent. The law does not require a defendant to prove his innocence or produce any evidence at all, and no inference whatsoever may be drawn from the election of a defendant not to testify. the government has the burden of proving the defendant guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, and if it fails to do so, you must acquit the defendant. While the government's burden of proof is a strict or heavy burden, it is not necessary that the defendant's guilt be proved beyond all possible doubt. It is only required that the government's proof exclude any reasonable doubt concerning the defendant's guilt. A reasonable doubt is a doubt based upon reason and common sense after careful and impartial consideration of all the evidence in the case. Proof beyond a reasonable doubt, therefore, is proof of such a convincing character that you would be willing to rely and act upon it without hesitation in the most important of your own affairs. The law does not require the United States to call as witnesses all persons who may have been present at any time or place involved in the case, or who may appear to have some knowledge of the matters in issue at this trial. Nor does the law require the United States to produce as exhibits all papers and things mentioned as evidence in the case. All right. We'll take a little break here from our jury charge once again, and let's see what we have for literary practice. Okay, ready? Here we go. Chris Rice was only 14 years old when a judge told him he was a threat to society. At that age, he had spent more time out on the streets than in the classroom. Either he looked for trouble or trouble found him. But when he finally found himself in court, he realized he had a choice to make: go to jail or shape up. Rice did not exactly fit the at-risk youth stereotype growing up. He was raised in an affluent area in Simi Valley, California, with both his parents and siblings, and had most of the same opportunities of children his age. But still, there was something lacking. I did not have the encouragement or the discipline I needed growing up, Rice said. It was not a caring or loving environment, and I was sort of a hothead. For a long time, he did not know who to turn to or where to go. Then there was Journey House, a place where he could be comfortable in his own skin and call home. Not only did Journey House take him off the streets, they provided him with mentorship, support, and life skills he needed to get back on track. Let's see what else we have here. This is some more literary material. Ready? Here we go. In these days, much of the profit and sometimes the whole of success depends upon utilizing the odds and ends, the so-called byproducts. The byproduct is something apart from the main article manufactured, and yet something that has an actual value of its own. For instance, in the making of gas, there are many byproducts. These are obtained from the coal, as the latter is made into lighting gas, and these byproducts, including the coke from the coal, actually suffice to pay the cost of the gas. The individual man does not make as a rule, but we are all of us dealers in time. Time is the one thing we possess. Our success depends upon the use of our time and its byproduct, the odd moment. All right, we will stop there. That will conclude our literary and jury charge practice.